You're listening to a Prairie Punk House Companion right here on the Prairie Punk Press Network. The views expressed by any host or any guest on the Prairie Punk House Companion are the personal views or opinions of the people who express them and do not reflect the views or opinions of anyone else on the show or any company, employer, or any other organization that the individual expressing them has or will affiliate with in the past, present, or future. Hey everybody, you're listening to a Prairie Punk House Companion. We are now on episode 26. My name is Neckbone.
Hi, I'm Jerbear, and my body is trying to turn itself inside out.
We decided that is not a Screeching Weasel song. That is a Van or Astrovan song.
Well, I left off the most important part.
Oh, what's that?
My body is trying to turn itself out, inside out, through my butthole.
Oh, right, yeah. That's the Van or Astrovan version. The first one was the Screeching Weasel version.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, ours is better.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's Van or Astrovan.
Right.
But on that note, I am attempting to start a real band with some people. I will be playing bass. I think we will be tuned to C, and we'll be rumbly and doomy and crusty.
Of course. I would expect nothing less.
I'm going to apologize in advance for my audio. Mm-hmm. I got a new laptop, and for whatever reason, it is not recognizing my normal microphone. So I'm using my shitty microphone. So if it sounds like ass, fuck you, I'm punk.
Yeah. It sounds fine here. I mean, not really, but who cares?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody in my house is getting sick. So
again?
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
So yeah, my son puked all over himself and his bed last night. So
fun.
Yeah. So I woke up with him standing over me, and I wondered what was wrong, and then I smelled him and was like, yeah.
Kansas is having the worst outbreak of tuberculosis in ever, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's Wyandotte in Johnson County, Kansas, which is northeast Kansas. So that's the Kansas City, Kansas, and Olathe, Overland Park area. Apparently has terrible tuberculosis outbreak. Just south of us in Oklahoma, there is an outbreak of RSV, some sort of flu, and COVID. So it's kind of wild right now.
It sucks. We need RFK Jr. right now.
Yeah, if anybody can save us, it's that fucking moron.
He'll just tell us to drink raw milk.
Yeah. Well, he at his hearing or whatever, he is suddenly pro-vaccine and denying that he was ever anti-vaccine. So that makes sense.
Except for all those recordings and social media posts.
The onesies he's selling.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For babies.
Yeah.
To say unvaxxed and healthy or some stupid fucking shit like that.
So he's either a liar or he's lost his mind completely.
No, he's a liar.
Either way, I don't think that he's qualified for the fucking job. Speaking of not qualified for the job, one of the things, and I don't know, maybe somebody did, Pete Hegseth, our new Secretary of Defense, people kept saying, and man, oh man, I saw a lot of people who really, really supported him being SecDef online.
Isn't he a rapist?
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Allegedly. Has he been convicted? I don't know. I'd have to look it up. So I'm going to say allegedly so he doesn't sue me.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
He paid out, so in civil courts he's guilty.
Right. But yeah, so and I kept seeing all these articles, and some of them from so-called left-leaning media outlets saying, letters of support for Pete Hegseth, and like they'd show quotes from the letters, and it'd say stuff like, "But he's such a nice guy." And I'm like, is that a qualifier for being SecDef? Is that a fucking qualifier?
What does that have to do with anything?
I don't need him to be a nice guy. I need him to be competent.
Yeah.
And to be clear, he was in the Army, yes. He rose to the rank of major, which is a very medium rank on the officer corps, and he got kicked out. And it was the National Guard. It was the Army National Guard. He was a major. He got kicked out, and he has never led large groups of troops. Major is not that high of a fucking rank.
I beg to differ. I've seen the movie Major Payne, and he seemed very high-ranking.
Yeah. Now, granted, my character, who is legally distinct from Captain America, called Major USA, he is high-ranking, but that's positional authority. So, yeah.
Okay.
And he works with the Indubitable Bulk, the Arachnid Kid, and Chrome Guy. So
Chrome Guy's my favorite.
Legally distinct. You can't sue me, Disney.
Speaking of not being qualified, I started a new job this week.
Hey, nice.
And after 4 days, I already feel more welcomed and like I fit in better than after 4 years at my most recent job who laid me off.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's awesome. I'm quite happy. Plus, we set shit on fire.
Oh, that's fun on purpose?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
We don't want it to burn, though. That's the thing. I mean, we want it to burn a little bit, but we don't want it to, be destroyed.
That's awesome. I'm glad you like your new job. Hey, and anyone who knows of a job for me, go ahead and reach out because there's a chance I could lose mine. I don't want to say who I work for or what I do specifically.
It doesn't matter.
I'm in media, communications, stuff like that. That's my general field. I'm not going to say who I work for, but I will say, you know what? The Republicans were actually right about something. I lost my job or could potentially lose my job because of an immigrant. His name is Elon Musk, and he's from South Africa. And he took or could potentially take my fucking job. So yeah, damn, they were right about that.
Have we talked about his Nazi salute? Because that's what it was. It wasn't throwing his heart out to his fans. No. That was a Nazi salute or a Roman salute, which Roman salute wasn't a thing in ancient Rome. It was the fascist Mussolini who called it that. As part of his fascism to appeal to a time in the past of what's it called? Nostalgia for the past of the Roman Empire. So he made up the Roman salute and said it was from ancient Rome, even though it wasn't. Yeah. And then the Germans, the Nazis, started using it as well because it's a real fashy salute. So Elon Musk did that on purpose, not because he has autism, not because he was throwing his heart out to his fans, not because he was excited. It's because he was throwing a Nazi salute. And whether he is intentionally saying he's a Nazi or if he's just trolling to own the libs doesn't matter because that distinction doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter.
It's kind of like
if he means it or not. He did it, and we all know what that means.
It's like how Phil Anselmo from Pantera said that he was doing it to piss off the crowd or something like that.
No, he said they were drinking white wine and it was a joke, a white power because of the Chardonnay.
Oh, hilarious!
That was his joke. Yeah. And a lot of people seem to be shocked about Phil Anselmo's doing that. I always associated Pantera with fucking chuds and morons. It always seemed racist adjacent to me. Always. I'm pretty sure they used Confederate flags in their iconography. And they just seemed like they would do fucking Nazi salutes. And sure enough, they do.
Yeah. But to be clear, we both 100% believe that Elon Musk was doing intentionally a Nazi salute. And you might, if he had done it one time, he might have had a little more plausible deniability. But the fact they did it twice, very intentionally, and the first time was to the crowd, and the second time was the second one to Trump directly?
No, it was to the crowd behind him.
Oh, okay.
There was the people in front of him, and then there were people that paid money to be behind him.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, it was full-throated. It was not subtle. He hit his chest really hard and threw his arm out really hard. It was intentional.
Yeah.
And it meant what it means.
Right. And you've seen the side by side with the Nazis throwing out their salute and him doing his, and it is identical. Identical.
Yeah. And then, I'm not here to run cover for Democrats or defend Democrats, but there were a lot of people showing stills of Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris doing the same gesture, but what they didn't include is the full video where they were
waving,
gesticulating, and doing other things. It was not a pounding their heart and throwing their arm out straight.
And I've seen people saying like, my heart goes out to you, and there are gestures that go with it. Never have I seen anyone do that.
Nah, it never looked like a Nazi salute.
Usually I see people doing it like they'll do like both hands on their chest.
Yeah,
my heart goes out to you. Like, yeah. I guess you can't see us because this is a podcast, but just
to use your imagineering.
Right. Maybe I'll send everybody a picture of me doing that. And
you can make a TikTok.
You don't get to use being neurodivergent as an excuse to do a Nazi salute. He knows what a Nazi salute is. Either
he's from fucking South Africa,
right? And his parents were in the Canadian Nazi Party. Let's be clear. And they moved to South Africa because they liked the cut of their jib during apartheid. So, yeah, he knows what that is. So either he is as smart as he says, and he is just straight up a Nazi, or he's a fucking idiot and doesn't know what that is, and he's just dumb. Dumb. So stupid that he doesn't know what a Nazi salute is. So it's one of those two things. So Elon fans, pick which one it is.
He is deeply stupid. He is a deeply stupid man, but he also knows what it means.
Yes, I agree. I know people who have been in meetings with him. Once again, I can't give away, unfortunately, anybody I've worked for in the past or anybody I know who they've worked for, but I know people who've been in closed door meetings with him, people who work in the science field.
Yeah, I actually know people who have as well.
Yeah, and every single one of them. And one of the people I know is actually a Republican, and he said Elon Musk is an idiot. He was like, that guy didn't know anything. His handlers were the ones who had to answer every single question. And Elon would just look at them and go, is that something we can do? And shrug. Because he doesn't know. He's not a scientist. He's just a money haver. Yeah.
Well, and idea stealer. Just like Thomas Edison. Right. Like it's ironic he named he didn't name his car company. It's ironic he bought the car company called Tesla when he is clearly such an Edison.
And I don't know. I think he might have
he doesn't invent shit. He steals other people's ideas and puts his fucking name on it and takes all the glory because he's a rich guy that can do rich guy things.
Let's go ahead and I'm not here to talk shit. I don't like talking shit on people's okay, yeah, I do like talking shit. But I don't like talking shit on people's looks usually because that's something out of people's control. Yeah. But Elon fans have to face the fact that Elon Musk had gender affirming care by getting those hair plugs and that jawline sculpting. So that's what that is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he takes testosterone too.
Well, and this is allegedly, I don't know for sure, but I know he has a bunch of kids, but I don't think he has a lot of sex. But this is all rumor, hearsay. I don't fucking know. Take that with a grain of salt. I don't fucking know, but okay. So he went to University of Pennsylvania. He has a Bachelor of Arts, doesn't say in what specifically, and a Bachelor of Science, doesn't say in what specifically. So I guess he has 2 bachelor's degrees. That doesn't mean that he's that smart.
Smart?
Right. I know lots of idiots with degrees. So.
Yeah.
He has a bachelor's in economics and physics.
Mhm.
I guess just physics in general. Nothing more specific than that. Okay. Yeah. So I guess as everybody can tell, we don't really have a lot of direction with this episode. Um,
It's been a crazy couple weeks. Getting
yeah.
new computers, getting new jobs,
Yep.
shit like that. So we're just kind of flying by the seat of our pants tonight.
Yes.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy.
Yeah. I've been spending since our last episode. I've been spending the last couple of weeks just scrambling to try to hang on to my job by any means necessary. So that's kind of what I've been focusing on. So this is the first episode we have ever recorded where I have zero notes. None. I didn't make a single note. Yeah. So we really are just really flying by the seat of our pants.
Ayo.
Yeah. It
I've
was
been
Kansas
trying
Day.
to.
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying not to be black-pilled and doomery about
Yeah.
things. Um, Partially for my sanity and partially so I can help out the people around me
Mm-hmm.
who are struggling more than I am,
Yeah.
and have some more optimistic takes on
Yeah.
things than we're all doomed. Um, you know, the bullshit he's doing now is intentionally outlandish to tire people out.
Mm-hmm.
Most of it is going to be challenged and stopped by the courts,
Yeah.
as has already happened. And in 2 years, even though Democrats are deeply, deeply pathetic, I imagine that they will probably win
Mm-hmm.
at least one branch back. I assume the Senate or the House,
Yeah.
possibly both,
Mm-hmm.
depending on how shitty Trump is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, Prison camps for immigrants isn't going to be popular, and he
Yeah.
has just opened Guantanamo Bay
To
to
30,000
30,000. Yeah.
people. Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, there's that. And yeah, as Neck mentioned, yesterday was Kansas Day. On Kansas Day, we had the House try to deny the existence of trans folks,
Mm-hmm.
and we had a plane crash in Washington, D.C.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we already mentioned the tuberculosis outbreak.
Yeah.
So
And of course, the
happy
plane
happy
crash,
Kansas Day, y'all.
the plane crash in Washington D.C. For people who don't know, that plane originated in our hometown of Wichita, Kansas.
Yeah.
So, and there were no survivors.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I saw some videos, and it looked like the Potomac was pretty iced over, or at
Mm-hmm.
least looked very cold and icy in some spots, not completely iced over, but
Mm-hmm.
that's cold water. It'd be awfully hard to survive in.
Yeah.
That's terrible tragedy. Yeah, that's really too bad. And it sounds like, despite what Trump said about fucking DEI or whatever the bullshit he tried to blame it on, it sounds like there was one air traffic controller manning two towers, and being overworked and
Yes.
stressed out. And, that is the FAA, and that is one of the federal agencies that Elon Musk is going to want to make cuts from. So everybody
Yes.
will be less safe.
And Elon Musk's cronies, as far as I know, have completely taken over OPM, which is the Office of Personnel Management. They manage all federal employees across every branch. All federal employees fall under OPM. And I know that the head of the FAA was fired several weeks ago. I don't remember what date exactly. And there have been lots of layoffs. And on top of that, for anyone who doesn't know, Donald Trump promised all federal employees, no matter what branch, no matter what job, that they were going to get an email in their inbox, and all they had to do was email back the word resign, and that they would continue to get pay and benefits until September 30th of this year, which is the end of the fiscal year for the federal government. And they wouldn't have to work as long as that was their last day of work. So everything runs out on September 30th. And it's basically a payout. He's buying them out to quit. But here's the thing. Don't fall for it, because it's just something he said to the news media. If you didn't get a fucking written piece of paper signed by government officials guaranteeing you that, he doesn't have to do it. There's nothing guaranteeing. All they have now is an email from you showing that you're not loyal.
Right.
So if you are a federal employee, don't take the fucking bait. They ain't going to pay you, man.
You know, and I feel like we can't really talk about air traffic controllers without talking about Reagan in the 80s, who basically, air traffic controllers went on strike because they're overworked, underpaid. It's a highly stressful job. They wanted better benefits. They wanted some more money. They wanted better hours. They wanted a better life for themselves. And what did Reagan do? He fired them all.
Yeah.
Fired all of them. He hired scabs and fired them, which was a huge blow to labor organizing in the 80s. Terrible, just fucking terrible. And the ramifications of that are still being felt today.
Yeah, not
just by air traffic controllers either. I mean,
well, all of these federal agencies, FAA, EPA, Food and Drug Administration. I mean, these are the last lines of defense, between consumers and just normal people and corporations. Corporations doing whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
And
minimum wage.
Yeah.
Any kind of protections against pollution or poisonous food.
Yeah.
Poisonous materials.
Yeah.
And while we're talking about breaking strikes, I have to bring up Biden too with the railroad workers, because he basically forced them back to work. So Democrats have filthy hands too.
They do. Though Biden's labor was still far better than Trump's so far.
Well, Lena Khan is probably the strongest labor relations person in 40 years probably. Right.
And yeah, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of things I'd like to critique Biden on, but he's not the current president.
No.
So
yeah, no, we I think last episode we said we were going to try not to talk about politics.
We did.
But we don't have anything else to talk about tonight, apparently.
We promised we wouldn't, and we broke that promise in just one episode.
Goddamn right we did.
That's what you get with us.
You know why?
Why?
Because you can't tell me what to do. I'm an anarchist.
I thought you were going to say chicken thigh. It's a missed opportunity.
But I do know how.
How?
Chicken cow.
All right.
That's a Wesley Willis reference.
That is.
If you did not know that.
We need to do a Wesley Willis episode. We should do a whole episode on Wesley Willis at some point.
Well, the Fannings had that split album. It's Wesley Willis and the Frogs. And I think the Frogs did Wesley Willis songs, and Wesley Willis did Frogs songs.
Yeah,
then we started listening to the Frogs, and that was a whole thing that we did for a while. I think maybe we should listen to a couple Frog songs too.
It was the Wesley Willis and the Wesley Willis fiasco, right? It was
Wesley Willis and the Fiasco, yeah.
Right.
It was
not
metal
his solo stuff. Yeah.
Right, it was with the metal band.
Yeah.
But my favorite Frog song is "I'm Sad Because My Goat Just Died Today."
That's tough. We've all been there, man.
Yeah. I'm sad because my goat just fell in the hay. Hey. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah. And we've all been there, and if you've never been to Kansas, then you probably believe us when we say, man, we've been there.
My mom actually had pet goats for a little while.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she did.
Damn. Okay. Well, I stand corrected. I feel dumb now.
Fucking moron.
Yeah.
We lived outside of town
You
A
were
little
still in
bit.
the
We were
city
just
limit. You were technically in the city limit.
not in the 80s.
Oh, were you not?
Not until 99. I was already moved out when her neighborhood got annexed into
Oh.
Wichita proper.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But we had, growing up, our backyard was half of an acre,
Mm-hmm.
and then we rented another quarter acre
Okay.
from the people behind us, and
Yeah.
we had horses and chickens and a donkey for a little while.
Oh, okay.
Lots of ducks.
Yeah.
We had homing pigeons.
Yeah.
So my dad used to race pigeons.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was in, I think, the third grade for show and tell, I had my mom bring uh, a box full of pigeons to school, and we let them out, and they were home when we got there.
Hmm.
So
you lived that real Kansas lifestyle.
Yeah, I sure did.
See, I lived in suburbia, man. It was like, I mean, suburbia. It could be suburbia anywhere fucking else. It was. We were technically in the city limit. We were in Wichita proper, but barely. I mean, it's pretty solidly in there now, but at the time, we were pretty much on the edge. I mean, I think Webb Road was as far as the city went back then. We were at Rock, so we're just one street away from.
And what is that Orthodox church? When did that go up? Because it looks pretty new.
Late 80s.
I mean, relatively new.
Yeah, I watched it being constructed. It was right behind my house. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Church smirch, but that's a cool building.
It is a cool building. I remember thinking that. I remember when they built that Orthodox church, and I remember asking my parents about it, and they were like, "Oh, you don't need to know anything about that." And I was like, "That's a really cool church." And they're like,
"Is it Greek Orthodox or Russian Orthodox?"
Greek Orthodox, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
Not Catholic though. So
no.
Yeah, the whole schism thing, they were not a fan. There's some religious history for you, just dropped right there. Look up the schism if you are interested in religious history. Yeah, or anti-schism if you're not.
Look up anti-schism instead.
Yeah, right.
My favorite track is Lines on a Map.
Nice. I think I discovered them through you anyway. So probably, yeah. But yeah, I was told to not do any research for the Orthodox Church. I didn't need to know anything about it. So they were
Catholic school teach about other religions though?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, kind of.
About how they were wrong.
Yeah, I mean, we had religion class, but religion class is really just about the Catholic religion. We did have in high school, I went to Catholic high school for 1 year exactly before I switched to public school. But yeah, my freshman year of Catholic high school, we had a class called Old Testament, and our teacher was Jewish. And I remember not knowing that Jewish people were still around. Wow. I was like, I thought they were from like old timey times. Like I thought I was like from like 2,000 years ago. I was like, oh my God. Like, and it's shocking. Like I did not know about like, for my dad being such a World War II buff, I didn't really know about what World War II was about. Like I was like, I don't know. There were some bad guys and we like went and like beat up the bad guys and then we came back, I guess. I don't fucking know. Like it was wild how little I knew about history and just the way humanity works.
That's funny.
Yeah. Sheltered life, man. Yeah.
Sweet.
I'm also surprised that my Catholic school employed a non-Catholic. Yeah. It's weird. We've just been talking about stuff that's been happening. I mean, have you talked about you talked about the anti-trans bill in Kansas, right?
I just barely touched on it.
Okay. And that also goes along with the, so basically, effectively, trans people have been kicked out of the military. Well, technically, they didn't kick out trans people, but they are no longer allowed to identify, be themselves. Right. They basically have to, it's like a don't ask, don't tell, but for trans people, basically. Like you're not allowed to be out. You have to go by the pronouns of the gender assigned at birth. So yeah, that really, really sucks. Now I can't imagine if you are somebody who's in the military and you're getting shot at and you're pinned down by enemy gunfire and somebody comes to your rescue, are you going to stop them and be like, wait, was that your gender assigned at birth? Like, is that something you're really fucking concerned about at that point?
Yeah.
I'm just curious. Military folks, please chime in, or maybe don't.
Yeah, there's also like some wacky bill. I don't remember if it's Alabama or Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
But they said it's some bill called like conception at erection or something like that. Basically making it illegal to spill your seed, as the Catholics would say.
That's some Old Testament shit right there.
Yeah.
Nice. That's obviously a joke, right?
No.
Oh,
I thought it's for real.
Really, that sounds like a bill that I would propose as like a joke if I were like a state senator.
It's serious.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
It's for real.
Oh.
What did Conan say about Mississippi when he was doing his quarters? You know, when they were doing state quarters.
I think it was Barbarian or O'Brien?
Conan O'Brien.
Okay,
not when they were doing state quarters and he was making fake ones. I think it was Mississippi, dangerously behind the times.
Yeah,
I believe that's it.
Mm-hmm. Accurate, yeah.
Yes.
There's also been a federal abortion ban proposed by Missouri.
Oh, cool. That tracks.
Yeah. By a representative from Missouri. I'm not sure. I can't remember who. Like I said, I took no notes for this one, so sorry, everybody. Right. But Google it. It's out there.
Yeah, I mean, Missouri basically has banned abortions.
In
Kansas. I think Oklahoma has them banned too.
What happened to it should be up to the state? What happened to that? Remember that was the big thing?
I mean, well, Nick, it was never really about states' rights. Just like slavery wasn't about states' rights.
Whoa, hold on. I thought that the War of Northern Aggression was about states' rights. Am I wrong about that?
Yes.
Bro? That's wild. You're blowing my mind right now.
Yeah, I know.
Well, it's all of this shit, you know, and the whole the person who proposed a bill that would let a president run for a third term if they had two non-consecutive terms.
Yeah,
you know, which obviously only applies to Donald Trump,
right?
Who is alive right now.
And it mentions Trump in the fucking bill,
right?
I'm pretty sure.
It's wild, and it's a shock and awe tactic. It's a shock and awe tactic.
Yeah,
they are throwing everything out there, and they're going to see what sticks to the wall. They don't expect everything to.
No,
they don't think everything is
trying to wear people out.
Yeah,
stress them out, and make them tired.
Yep.
Oh, another thing we could maybe bring up, since we've talked about Elon Musk so much, is he went to Germany and talked to their far right party, the AfD.
Yeah, I think it's the AfD. They're basically the closest thing to the Nazi party that has existed in Germany since the Nazi party.
Yeah, and he told them that they should not be ashamed of their past.
Right. I mean, I don't know.
But, he did not do a Nazi salute. It was not a Nazi salute.
It was not a Nazi salute.
Germans should be proud of their recent history from 80 years ago.
Right.
They should be proud of that. According to Elon Musk.
I am not of German descent personally, but I am descended from Confederate soldiers, and you shouldn't be proud of that past. You fucking shouldn't.
No,
it sucks, man. And I say, as the descendant of Southerners and people who fought for the Confederacy, tear all those statues down. Just tear them all down. Fuck it. You don't get a participation trophy. You lost.
Dude.
I mean, Jesus Christ. Star Trek The Next Generation lasted longer than the Confederacy. Star Trek The fucking Next Generation had 7 fucking seasons. It lasted longer than the Confederacy. So if you're going to put statues up of the cast of Star Trek The Next Generation. They had a bigger and more positive impact on America than anyone in the fucking Confederacy did.
I prefer Q statues.
Oh, I'll take a statue of John Delancey any day.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He's a handsome man.
He is. Yep. Mm-hmm. Though if we get a statue of LeVar Burton, are we doing visor on, visor off? How are we doing that?
Oh, visor on.
Visor on. Okay.
Well, for the next generation, for Reading Rainbow, visor off.
Visor off. Okay. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Because he deserves multiple statues.
Right. And Michael Dorn in full Klingon makeup. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Got to do it.
But only for our black metal band, Worf.
Worf, right.
Mm-hmm. That sings in Klingon about, Burt Reynolds and Lonnie Anderson and
right.
And their breakup.
Get ready for our
which
first
is very
single.
that pop culture reference
Mm-hmm.
is very topical and just recently happened. Are they both dead? I know Burt Reynolds is, right?
Yeah. Right?
Right?
I don't know. Jesus Christ. I don't know. Yeah, Burt Reynolds is dead. He's
Burt
dead.
Reynolds died.
Yeah, he died.
Yeah.
Right.
What about Lonnie?
I'm
going to look it up.
Yeah, let's Google it. Lonnie Anderson is still alive. She's still alive.
Good for her.
79 years old. She's from St. Paul, Minnesota. Good job, Lonnie Anderson. It's those cold winters. They preserve you. That's just what they do. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Johnny, can you chime in on this as a Minnesotan? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to live longer than us now?
Can you put us in touch with Lonnie Anderson?
Can you?
Can you? Do you think you could get Lonnie Anderson to do guest vocals for a Worf song?
Yes. She could be on the cover of our new album called Kapla. So,
yes.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
Kapla means success.
Excellent.
In a very Klingon way. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It would be a great success for Lonnie Anderson to do guest vocals on that song.
And everybody in Minnesota knows each other, right?
Ooh, yeah, it's Minnesota. It's the friendliest state in the nation.
It is. Actually, everybody has always been friendly to me every time I've driven through. So that as far as I know, that is true.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's close to Canada.
That's true.
So,
I mean, they're basically
they sound like they're from Canada as well.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The accents.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
For crying in a bucket.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oof da, yeah.
Oh, for corn's sakes. We
just lost our entire Minnesota audience just now.
Who, Johnny?
Yeah.
Nah, he's fine. No. We love you, Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
And our patrons as well. Mr. Power.
Yes.
Chris. Alec.
Yeah.
Still need to get high quality printouts to make those buttons, but I'm gonna do it. Here's
the thing, and I have not checked our Patreon in a while. We may have even more patrons now.
What?
Here's the thing. We're really good at recording and releasing episodes. We are terrible at making money. We're just awful at it. Both of us are. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah. I used to panhandle at Riverfest and make a bunch of money.
Yeah.
To buy booze.
Should we do that? Should we do that with our podcast?
Yes.
Okay. At Riverfest?
Yeah. We could just walk around with a bucket that says podcast on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Patreon. It says Patreon on the bucket.
Mm-hmm.
And then walk around and shake our empty bucket until people put some quarters in it.
We could just walk around having a conversation and then make people give us money if they listen to us.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, man, you can't listen to this podcast for free. My wife has asked me multiple times. She's like, why don't you guys monetize? And I'm like, I don't know what that means.
What?
Like,
why?
I was like, how do you do that?
I also don't want to read some fucking bullshit ad about some fucking weird bed that I don't sleep on, or a razor that I don't use, or
speaking of which, the Casper
online mental health.
Right. Oh yeah. By the way, don't use
that.
That thing's bullshit. The online mental health thing.
Yeah,
a lot of creators I like do advertising for them. I think maybe they just don't know. I think that most people think that BetterHelp is like good, a good alternative if you need like mental health help that is accessible. But they're super fucking, they're anti-LGBTQ. Like they're
Oh, I
like,
didn't know that.
I mean, I guess it depends on I guess they just, I think what it is, they don't screen the people. And so there's people whose credentials are questionable. There's people who have given some really shitty advice, especially to trans people.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, just the stuff I've been hearing, like, trans people, gay people, people in like open relationships, anything that doesn't like fit with the norm
Yeah.
or what people consider the norm. They're just like a lot of the therapists on there, or I don't know if it's a lot, but there are a lot of anecdotes anyway. I haven't seen statistics or anything, but of people who are like, yeah, my therapist was just like bad mouthing me to my face because they didn't like my lifestyle.
It makes me wonder why they're doing it online and not at a practice.
Yeah.
I maybe during COVID it was more understandable, but no. And no.
Yeah. And you know, in the interest of, you know, exposing myself a little bit to everybody, I do.
Hey, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I do. Well, thankfully, none of our audience can see it because we're a podcast, but you have to see it.
Damn it.
Because you can see me on camera. But yeah, I do. I am currently in therapy, and I do it online because it's more convenient for me to not have to commute. So, and a lot of people don't take my insurance, but I check the credentials of my person. Like I did a deep dive on them to make sure that they were legit first. So if you need to do online therapy, that's fine, but do a deep dive on the person first, like to make sure that they're, you know, legit and are actually going to help you out and are fully credentialed, and make sure they take your fucking insurance. Yeah, you don't want to get that bill. Yeah, so that's it for us, everybody. Really sorry, this is a short one. We didn't really plan this one. We've had, like I said, a lot of chaos in our lives. I guess we didn't realize how directly we'd both be impacted by this incoming administration. And we didn't even touch on all the different ways that, you know, people we know who are immigrants or are related to immigrants have already suffered and probably will suffer more. So I know we didn't talk about immigration stuff a lot in this episode, but I know they're using a lot of shock and awe tactics, but try to keep up on as much as you can. And, you know, make sure that you're just helping people around you, you know, don't narc on people. And remember that if ICE comes to your door or you see ICE anywhere, for them to come on a private property, they have to have a warrant that is signed by a judge, a judicial warrant signed by a judge. If they have anything less than that, you can tell them to go fuck themselves. And I highly encourage you to do that. Maybe just say go away so they don't throw you on the ground or anything. But yeah, you can send them away. That's perfectly fine. And if you see ICE and you're in public, especially if you're in a crowded place and it looks like they're trying to round up groups of people, just yell out La Migra. And anyone who's a Spanish speaker will know what that means, and they'll bounce. So yeah, just look out for your neighbors. Don't narc on people. Don't let other people narc on people. Make sure you visit our website, www.prairiepunkpress.com. We have more stuff in the works right now, too. So we're not going to officially announce our new YouTube show yet. We are going to shift our political stuff over to that. And we only went political in this episode because we literally did not prepare. But yeah, keep an eye out for that. We'll announce that as that gets closer and we have more time. We're going to start doing punk movie reviews every month now. So we had one come out for January. We had SLC Punk come out for January. And for February, we're going to do a band called Death. So yeah, look out for that. And we are going to actually have the director on to talk about it. So that one might be a little different, but I think that'll be interesting. We like to break from the format whenever we can to keep things interesting. Visit all of our socials. Make sure you like, subscribe, write reviews. and do all the things wherever you listen to our podcast. And yeah, make sure you're taking care of each other and taking care of your neighbors. Take care of yourself too. But yeah, just remember, resist in any way you can, whenever you can. But like I always say, I don't advocate for violence and I don't advocate for breaking the law. But resist in every legal way and by every legal means you have access to. And help your neighbors too. All right, everybody. That's it for us. And thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.